We ain't got, listen, we getting ready to talk about, it already hit. We getting ready to talk about a real issue in America. I like what you was talking about.
Don't be stealing my title.
Okay?
Don't be stealing my title.
I'm not stealing your title,
yes,
brother.
you just
why are you hiding like the ghost man? Jimmy, come on over here. Listen, what we trying to talk about here today is the top 10 question of the world. And it's the worldwide medical care for, universal. Yeah, I can't
universal health care for the citizens of the United States of America.
Okay, so my beloved brother, how you feel about the citizens getting medical care here in the United States?
Listen, I feel like everybody's not entitled to health coverage. What I mean, namely, the ones who I do feel is entitled to it is if you're a retired person who worked all your life and you paid into the system. Of course, if you're a working person, you're already employed. And you're paying into the system. Even people who might not be working but have a history of working, and they contributed to the system. But somebody who's just sitting home, ain't trying to do nothing. I'm talking about a capable body person. Everybody's not able to work, but I'm talking about to that man and to that woman who are able to work and just refuse to work. I don't think they're entitled to nothing.
Are you referring to a welfare recipient, or are you referring to a person that's taking up space by homo sapiens?
Every case is not the same. Even though some people on welfare legitimately. Some years ago, I was on welfare, not because
because we grew up on welfare.
Well, but not even in that aspect. But I'm talking about once I became a responsible adult and provided for my family, and I had a problem with my job where I was fired unjustly, and by the grace of God, I was exonerated. But I still, in the interim, I couldn't find a job because I still had some things hanging over my head. So that forced me to go on welfare.
Still a productive citizen.
Yeah, so every situation of welfare is not the same. Some people are forced on it because of circumstances. But what I'm saying is, when there's an able-bodied person who just refuses to work and won't try to work, I don't think they're entitled to anything. We people of faith, and the scriptures tell us this: if a man don't work, he shouldn't eat.
That's right.
Okay, and back then, I don't know if they had benefits set up for working, but I knew that the Lord understood that benefits is a part of the workforce when that was put in His Word. So, if I can be bold enough to say, if a man don't work, he shouldn't have medical coverage.
Well, I agree with you in the respect that if a person don't work and is not being a productive citizen, being a menace to society or a handicap to society, he doesn't deserve the full medical care that we're getting, or perhaps our president is offering. But I do, however, believe if he was sick and had an emergency, he should be cared for. And I think we both agree to that.
Yeah, we both agree.
But
an emergency situation.
After that, he doesn't deserve it.
Right.
And one doesn't deserve it. I don't want this to be seen as if your watchdog pastor, Reverend Lewis Nash, is saying that. What I am saying is that we got a president that's saying something should take place, something should happen, and we should change the norm in the United States as far as people having medical coverage. But I do agree with my brother right here, my best friend, that if you don't work, if you're not a productive citizen and you have an able, well body and you have the activity of your limbs, because I've known from talking to friends of mine, and even my wife says that she has people coming to college that is disabled, that can't walk. Some people is blind, and they're being productive citizens. So why shouldn't somebody that's on welfare be charged with doing some type of community work to bring about a change in America? And if you have a well-able body, you should be working, producing some type of legitimate income to help out our citizens.
Well, I mean, let me just give you a scenario. We have some young brothers, not just, saying it's black people, but you just imagine this scenario. Here, a guy standing on the corner all day, he's selling drugs. 22, 23 years old, got a pocket full of money. He ain't trying to work, but yet still, if he feels like he want to get this fungus checked out on his feet, he can make an appointment with through Blue Cross and Blue Shield and go get this fungus checked out. But yet, because I heard you use the word menace to society or not being non-productive, so we're gonna provide coverage for people who ain't even thinking about dissolving themselves in part of the workforce and being productive.
No, what I am saying is what you said. If you don't work, you shouldn't eat. And now if you can't work and you're on disability, you deserve medical care. We're not saying that at all. What we're saying.
But you made another good point too. There are people who are disabled who actually work.
That's right.
And then we have able-bodied people who refuse.
And they go to college. And everybody that's disabled, we don't want to cut nobody's check off, Barack Obama, but we know that people that's on disability can work because they still go to work for 20 hours a week. So they even
go to work.
Right. So they still being productive citizens. And even while they on disability, they go to school to better themselves so they can perhaps find a job or start a business to get off of that disability.
Right.
But what we're talking about is somebody that has an able body that's sitting on welfare. Now here's our suggestion, my beloved brothers and sisters, and you can blog this to our president or to CNN or MSNBC, because this is really productive, what we're about to tell you. Listen closely. We're saying together, we, the people, citizens of the United States of America, who's not affiliated with any group that's being paid to put out rhetoric, but we're as true, innocent citizens of the United States, productive citizens. I'm a pastor, I'm a CEO, he's a minister, he's a police officer, and what we're telling you that we don't want our money going to take care of somebody who's not productive. However, we do wish that our money will go toward helping people be productive. Like, for instance, welfare people that has able bodies that sit home and wait for a check, then what they need to be doing is required to do community service or go to school. And now we already have in place earn centers that produce welfare to work programs. But we're going to go a little bit further, because you see, they need that is sitting home on their behind waiting on a mailman and keep having babies. We want to put those babies in child care so they can still stay home. No. And get free medical coverage. No. What we want to do is say, if you're on welfare and you have an able body and you're not bedridden and you're not a quadriplegic and you don't need 24-hour round-the-clock wraparound care, you need to be outside, head of an organization, sweeping the trash off the streets of Philadelphia. You need to be assisting every community organization, not those who just come off of parole and have to do community service. Every welfare recipient should be required to do community service and with a reputable community organization, and they must sign off that they're doing it. And if the community organization won't sign off, then their 501c tax exempt numbers should be taken from it. And churches should love this idea, as well as every community organization.
Yeah, not just community organization, every American should love that, because that's being productive.
Exactly.
And that's what it's all about. If we remain productive, if we are productive, then I think that makes us entitled. But if we're not productive, we're not trying to do anything positive, we're not bringing anything positive, no, I don't think we're entitled to anything.
If it's not an emergency, you don't get care.
That's what we agree. It's not an emergency.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your watchdog from Philadelphia, Reverend Louis C. Nash. You can contact me at 215-518-4667 or email me at lewiscarrysenior@yahoo.com. Once again, we thank you, Brother Robinson, for coming on with the watchdog here on YouTube. Talk to us, blog us, email us, and make sure you send it to Barack Obama, our greatest president ever, besides Bill Clinton.